Hell. Oh, wait a minute. Is that on? Let me see. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, it is. Okay, let me turn off this other sound that's coming in here. Don't need that. Please don't forget to hit the like button. Please do not forget to hit that like button. Okay. Let me see. Hmm. Okay. Oh, there's one more. Okay, that works. That works and that works. Oh, really? Oh, God. Okay. Okay. All right. Just putting last minute touch on. Give me just a second. Is that today? Huh. Okay. That's interesting. That is interesting. Wait till you see the date on this one. Wow. That's over a year ago. Okay. Let me put an arrow so I won't miss it. You got to see this. You got to see it. Got to see the date on this. Okay. All right. So let me see who was here first and then we'll get started. Oh, wow. Y'all having a nice conversation. Lady Metatrons, thank you so much for being first. Hello, Stacy Crenshaw, Lorna Williams, Kathy G, B. Martin, Mary H, MJB, Joya Moore, Susie Mom, Amy Girl, Kalalit, what is it? Kalabeta, Najagu. Thank you so much for being here. Black Queen, welcome back again. Anastasia, Isabella is here. Gwendolyn Daniels, Pauline Francis, B. Martin. Am I repeating myself? Carolita Simone. All right, so let me grab the slides because they are ready. And oh my God, how did I get 62 slides? Oh my goodness, that we're going to be here all night. Let's see if we can get out of here in like an hour and a half, shall we? I'll do my best. I'll try to just keep it moving. Keep it moving. Okay, slides coming up, and don't think I need to do anything else. That can go. Close some of these windows I got open or screens I got open. That can go. Get rid of that, that, and that, and that. Okay, cool. And slides are up. Excellent. Wait a minute, that is the wrong color blue. I just noticed that. You guys see that? The border at the base of the thumbnail, that is the wrong color blue. Oh, that's not Royal Sussex blue. You know what? I'm done. I'm gonna have to get out. I'm just kidding. I made a mistake. That's not Royal Sussex blue. Now I won't be able to relax. You know my compulsive nature. I'm okay. Let me just ignore that. But that is the wrong color blue. I'm just saying that is the wrong color of blue. You guys see that? That's not Royal Sussex blue. See what I mean? That's Royal Sussex blue. But this is too powdery looking. That is Royal Sussex blue. Look at the bottom. That is not Royal Sussex blue. Ask Sherwin-Williams. Hello, Joan Garcia, Lucy Wynn, Sharon Chung, Michelle Bathwaite, okay, Stevie Ross. Oh, Lydia Washington is here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I'm going to ignore the fact that that is not Royal Sussex Blue, and I'm going to continue. So, someone's popularity is on the slide, and of course, they are reacting to the fact that no one, and I do mean no one, is interested in their hijinks and ridiculous reactions to everything Harry and Meghan. I mean, they just can't help themselves. Every time you turn around, there's some new reaction, some knee-jerk reaction to Harry and Meghan. I mean, who goes to see their wife at the hospital and bring their PR person with them as though that's a PR exercise instead of an act of love? Although we've never seen that person walk into the hospital, or we can't be 100% sure that that was the PR person, but I promise you, to me, I say it is. Hello, Helene Groen. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, they're sliding and they're getting desperate. So in Canada, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle remind the world of their impact. Well, that has not gone unnoticed. So here you can see Prince William angered by Harry as there is 0% chance he will return to royal fold. You know, I can understand why some people seem to think that there was some merit to that there was some truth hidden somewhere in all of these headlines because they're so persistent. But I don't believe it is. Like I said, the math ain't mathing. It just does not make sense. Harry has a home. This is a big year for the Sussexes. I never like to say anything is impossible, but the math just ain't mathing. They got other stuff to do. They have a plan for 2024, and this plan had been laid out long before Charles admitted to have cancer, long before the mysterious illness that took the newly minted Princess of Wales away with that jinxie sapphire and diamond ring that you keep pushing in everybody's face. Long before any of that stuff happened, the Sussexes had a plan for this year. I believe their strategy has been long term, and it does not involve going back to help carry out official royal duty. I said yesterday, in my opinion, that Harry did what anybody else would do when someone is ill. Let me know if you need something. Don't hesitate to ask. If there's something I can do to help, let me know. Now, whether or not some courtier or something or somebody took that out of context or decided to use that as an excuse to conspire this against the Sussexes by creating this ridiculous storyline, which, you know how I was just saying, that's interesting. Wait till you see the date on that. Well, I'll show that to you soon. Lex says, I think the royal protocol was invented to prevent that family from being social outcasts. It is clearly everyone else and not them that is weird. Charles III and Korean group weird equal weird rather. William and BAFTA equal weird. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too. They are desperate. And yes, I recall they tried to use that Korean group to look hip and once a colonizer, always a colonizer. They have been branded racist, and that ain't ever going to go away. That ain't ever going to go away because it's not too much of a stretch when it comes to that institution in the first place. So if they think young people who are all about inclusivity are ever going to look toward them with some type of adoration or something like that, it's not going to happen because of the bedrock of that foundation being rooted in colonization, white supremacy, and just good old fashioned racism. I don't know that people could ever see it any other way. Now, the thing is, I never looked at the institution in that light because I just didn't make the association. But the more that they do to try to win people over, the more you're going to have people speaking out saying, wait a minute, aren't they responsible for colonizing over a quarter of the globe? And and all the other things that go along with that, like the transatlantic slave trade, um, mass, what do they call it? Well, mass genocides. There's so many things that are associated with the British government and the royal family. A lot of the atrocities were done in the name of the sovereign. A lot of the wealth that they have accumulated has been created through all of the treachery. And when the Queen died, I will never forget how fast it was. I mean, I'm just like, oh, we're going to maintain decorum. The Queen just died. We'll try to be respectful, give it at least a week. It wasn't even a day before people were calling out the Queen, calling out the royal family. Commonwealth countries were already planning to leave. They were just waiting for the Queen to die. So, with all of that working against you, picking a fight with Harry and Meghan is not going to help. And it's not even a fight. It's a one-sided war because the Sussexes are only going about their business. They are not being petty, and they're not fighting back. They're just trying to do their work. But the only way that you can get people to read about the royal family is to throw the Sussexes in there some kind of way. The only way you can get people to notice the royal family is make some vague comparison, some ridiculous comparison to Harry and Meghan, just so that people are forced to choose Coke or Pepsi, Ford or Chevy, that kind of thing. But either way, it's injuring the institution more than it hurts the Sussexes, because the Sussexes are still popular. There were a couple people that were booing in on the trip to Canada, but remember they actually released what do you call it, a date for their travel, and I have no doubt that some derangers made it their business to try to be there so that they could make trouble. But as a whole, Canada, there's a very low percentage of people in Canada that are crazy about the royal family. They're not even putting Charles on the currency, if I recall. The royal family's not popular there. What do you think the chances that some young person in that area would be out there harboring these bad feelings about the Sussexes? Meghan used to live there. It's just not so. But they managed. But I tell you, and if that was the best that they could do, that was a very feeble attempt to try to humiliate them. Very feeble. So much so that it virtually went unnoticed. But thank you so much, Lex, for the super chat. And thank you. See, I'm all riled up. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. And wow. Let's see. There's a birthday? Is it Anastasia's birthday? I just saw that. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Anastasia. Happy birthday and many happy returns of the day. Okay. Well, we got to celebrate. You know we got to celebrate. Let me crank it up here. And hit it. Hello.
Hello, Ivy
Ivy
here.
here.
Hello, Ivy. Today is Lilibet Diana Mountbatten-Windsor's birthday. Meet me at the Royal Sussex party. Church Nellie's gonna be there. All right, Ivy out.
You know what? I have not come down from my high yet. As you know, All right. Happy birthday. And again, many happy returns of the day. I just feels like dancing. All right. All righty then. Happy birthday. And thank you, Lydia Washington, for the super sticker. Okay. So, take a look here. Harry repays the 2.4 million spent on the sovereign grant renovation, his Frogmore Cottage home. He and Meghan making it very clear they will never return to royal life. This, of course, being from Emily Andrews, that two-face. Emily Send the Clowns Andrews. Anyway, it says here, interesting, their PRs, public relations, are spinning that they stopped taking Charles' money. Charles says Prince of Wales provided support. Whatever. Thing is, they paid the money back. And by paying that money back, that was to relieve them of any further criticism about the renovation of that cottage, which was scheduled for renovation anyway, and they were not supposed to pay that money back. But Harry decided to go ahead and give the money back, even though nobody else in the family pays for those scheduled renovations. And then, in spite of all that, Charles asked for the key. So basically, evicting them from their only home that has round the clock security in the UK. So the chances that they were ever going to go back there has just been completely eliminated. They don't have a home in the UK. Who knows if they'll ever buy a home in the UK? And then over here, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle pay back 3.1 million, but the media won't let go. And now, what is that from Daily Beast? They have paid the money back, but now, I'm sorry, they are now financially independent, as they stated they wanted to be, but do not expect the media, the British tabloid media, to be specific to grant Prince Harry and Meghan Markle peace. And so far, that has all been true. That has all been true. I mean, look at that. That was back in September of 2020, and still the vendetta continues. They won't let it go. And so ever since then, there's been this tug of war of they're not welcome back, don't ever come back, we need them back, there's no way back, a point of no return. I mean, it sounds like some silly action movie titles. A Point of No Return. And all along, Harry is saying repeatedly he loves his life in America. He loves his life in California. And just as recently as the other day, he just said, I have a family and I love every day of my life in California. He told Anderson Cooper, nope, I'm not coming back. Do you think, nope. He didn't even let him get the words out of his mouth. Do you think that you will ever, nope. How many times does he have to say it? And yet, they're keeping up this nonsense. So you done took the money, you done took the house back. Well, if that's not a hint right there from them that you're not welcome back, so I can't imagine anything changed because Charles has cancer. Joan Garcia says, the more Brits trash Harry and Meghan, the more folks join them. Hear, hear, because Americans love the underdog. We always love an underdog. We are always there for the underdog. And so the idea that there's these, that is Diana's son. I will admit, I didn't grow up knowing who Meghan Markle was, but I've always known who Harry is. That's Diana's son. What do you think you're going to do to turn us against Diana's favorite? It's not possible. The only people that speak ill of Harry are those Brexiteers, those MAGA people, the MAGA mothers, the Karen MAGA mothers. And who cares what they think? So this reminds me of this lie. Harry and Meghan asked to return on Air Force One with Biden after Queen's funeral, but were denied. And Jill didn't attend Invictus games to avoid upsetting the royals. So are Sussex's attempts to become U.S. political players faltering? No, because they're not trying to be U.S. Political players. No, they didn't want to fly back on Air Force One. It does not make sense. It still doesn't make sense. They went on and on about Biden not going to the Queen's funeral. They went, I'm sorry, not the Queen's funeral, but the coronation. They went on and on about, of course, Charles going over to, I mean, not Charles, but Biden going over to Ireland. I mean, it's just like they seem like they have a mental problem. A whole lot of them. They have a mental problem. They're not wrapped too tight. Their elevators aren't going up to the top floor. They got splinters in the windmills of their mind. It's like somebody then blew their pilot light out. They're one tree short of a hammock, a brick short of a house. A tuxedo with brown shoes. It's a lot of things going on with those people that write these tabloids, but they're just not all together there. I'm convinced of that. They couldn't be. If you have been away from your kids for 2-3 weeks, when you were just supposed to be gone for 5 or 6 days, why would you want to detour to Washington, D.C., and you have to go through all the trouble to arrange for another aircraft to take you to California or find a flight to California? Plus, Air Force One does not stop at a civilian Air Force base. They go to an, airport. They go to a military Air Force base. You're not bringing your private plane to a military Air Force base. It does not make sense. I'm convinced that this story was born out of the twisted minds of some derangers talking back and forth with the tabloid Royal Rhoda people with their burner accounts. None of it makes sense. That detour could go up to 3-4 hours when you could have been on a plane and on your way to California. Well, who would stop in Washington, D.C.? I don't know a connecting flight in Washington, D.C. People connecting at JFK or O'Hara or what is that other place? Atlanta Hartsfield. Nobody connects in Washington. I've never heard of it anyway. It's not that kind of a hub in Washington, D.C. But yet, that story just carried on and on and on. And as for Jill not going to the Invictus game, Joe Biden needs Jill Biden, and I'll just say that. Joe Biden needs Jill to stay very close. Jill Biden has not made any foreign trips in quite some time. It's very rare, and that's for a reason, which I shall not, dabble with right now. None of my business. But she has a reason why she needs to stick close to him, and that's all to it. She don't go anywhere. She always hangs close to him. So that is a factor. I'm pretty sure that otherwise Jill Biden would love to go. It's not based on what the British government thinks. That's the First Lady of the United States. She goes wherever she wants to go. So that is ridiculous. But all of this is just really grating on my nerves because they are such a liberally spread lies all over the place about the same stuff over and over again. Although I have to say, the Air Force One thing, I couldn't have made that up myself. I couldn't have made that up. That took a very twisted individual to sit there and think of something like that. But yet it's the lie that they armed the derangers with so that they could share it and repeat it. But it still makes no sense. Just like this, they can never return. It's designed to make William look big, William look strong, William look decisive. Just like the Sandringham Summit, they wouldn't stop talking about that. It is so important for them to make William seems like he's strong and decisive. Yes, that William, the same William that was at the investiture, bobbing and weaving, right? The same William that never seems to know what to do with his mouth because he's always so nervous and twitchy. That William is supposed to be so strong and decisive. And he's supposed to be the anti-Harry that's really going to put Harry in his place. That William. He who cannot stand up straight. He who cannot stop blinking. He who looks like he's about to pass out is supposed to be the one that's going to put Harry in his place. He who draws the big crowds.
The hosts of a neo-Nazi.
Oh, that's not the one. Wait, let me find it. He who draws all the big crowds. Where is it at? Nope, that one's not it. Why does that look like the other one? Anyway, you get my point. That William is supposed to be the one that is going to give Harry a piece of his mind or teach him a thing or two. But if he's trying to teach Harry a lesson, who's going to teach him? Deborah Anderson, thank you so much for the super chat. And thank you so much for being here. And also, let me just say this. Little cautionary thing. If you have been diagnosed with cancer and if you're going through cancer treatment, maybe it's not a good idea to walk in the rain to church. I'm just saying, I don't know how smart that is to walk in the damp like that when you have been diagnosed with cancer. But as you can see here, Charles and Camilla decided to walk to church today. Okay, if that's what you want to do. King Charles is firmly of the opinion that Harry cannot return as a working royal despite wanting to repair the relationship with his estranged son. And you notice that they waited until Harry and Meghan were done with the Invictus countdown They waited until they were done with that, or just about done with it, to make the greatest impact because it is bothering them. All of the positive press that the Sussexes are getting right now, they are triggered by that. They're very bothered by that. And so, for that reason, they have decided to unleash all of these accusations about Harry wanting to go back. Even though Harry has been saying since he was a teenager that he never wanted that life. Even William said, nobody wants it. But if we're called upon to do our duty, blah, 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 William doesn't even want to be there. He wants all the love and attention, but he doesn't want to do the work. He's never been interested in the work. Harry doesn't want the life, but Harry wants the work. See how that is? There's one who wants the attention, but doesn't want to work. And there's one who wants to work and doesn't want all the attention. And then, of course, just for good measure, to make it even seem more decisive and what is the other word I'm looking for? To make it seem more treacherous, age stopped Prince traveling to Sandringham. No way back for him in any hybrid royal row, says The Sun, another newspaper that has been sued by the Sussexes. All of these people are in litigation, well, most of them, with in some way or form or fashion, has been or continue to be, and yet they won't admit to any of that when they're throwing all these negative stories out there, right? They don't want to admit to that. And of course, they find a picture of Harry doing the praying hands to make it look like he's begging, oh, please take me back. And the worst part is that there are people that believe it. That's what's the worst of all, is that there are people gullible enough to believe that Harry is sitting around waiting for the phone call so that he can get back there. It took him, 34 years to get out of there? 35 years to get out of there? And for whatever illogical reason, they think that he is just itching to get back in there. I say it's time to write another book. Okay, and what does this one say? I can't see the bottom part there. But anyway, no way back. Oh, it's at the top of it. Harry has no way back into the firm. I feel like I just bumped my head or something. It's like I can't believe it. I feel like I just woke up from a very long sleep, and I find out that they're trying to make people believe that Harry is itching to get back. The only way you're supposed to want to go back is when you're flat broke, when you have no place to live. I'm trying to think of what scenarios would make someone want to go back into a penal colony rather. And then, of course, here's Mr. Tough Guy. Wills to block any comeback. No way back for Harry. These people give me gas. You know that, don't you? They give me gas. Let me see. Lex says, you see this? They are sinking, and they need to give the narrative that Harry wants to come back. They have to convince that it is a fairy tale. Where is Kate? Yes, where is Kate? And that's really sad that somebody can just be uprooted, disappear, come up missing, and there's not any outpour of affection. There were no flowers outside of the hospital. None of that stuff. None of it. As though she never exists. Yep, it's as though she never exists. Wills won't allow Harry back in family. Now Harry admits there's no way back. Now, which one of those do you think is the new paper? Well, I think the one on the left side is the most recent one, the Sunday Express. But take a look at the arrow on the right. That's the one I found just before I came on. That says Tuesday, I think January 16th, 2023. That is from January the 16th, 2023. I don't know if you heard me. That is from that is from January last year. That's from a year ago. Tuesday. No, I'm sorry. It's January the 10th, not the 16th. I just made it bigger. Yeah, that's from January 10th, 2023. So if you understand the date, then you know that that was when Spare came out. And as for Harry admitting that there's no way back, Harry said no. He didn't say he didn't admit that there's no way back. He said no. He doesn't see a way that that would happen. He's not. I mean, if you look at the picture of Charlotte, then you know they're quoting that conversation from where Meghan was trying to help Baby Brain go for the fitting for Charlotte's dress, right? But Harry said at the time, it wasn't Harry admits. He didn't admit to anything. He just said no. His word was clear. No. Anderson Cooper, do you think that? No. Nope. Well, what else is there to add to that? It was a very flat no. Nothing else needed. But to make Will look strong, William has to be seen as this force, this powerful future leader that's climbing through the ranks instead of just being a birthright. It's as though he's climbing and scaling walls and slaying dragons and riding unicorns all the way to Windsor Castle. Or he just happened to be the particular egg that dropped. You know what I'm saying? Ugh. These people. I lay in bed gnashing my teeth, dreaming of the day. Oh, wait, no, that's Clarkson that said that. Judith Reynolds says the royals and their press mouthpiece seem to sit around a table and figure out how to best attack Harry's every word as it makes them feel better about their sad little lives. Exactly. Thank you so much, Judith. That's what they do. They sit around and brainstorm. Dansby says, when the day comes and Charles is gone, I hope Harry unleashes everything at Willie if he tries to come after him. No more of this holding back so he doesn't cause the monarchy to fall. Like I say, I feel like there's another book on the way. If not, there should be. I mean, this is leaking and briefing. The idea that someone blocked Harry from talking to Charles, that is a brief. Lex says, apparently Will is Atlas. At least he wants to be. Oh, he's going to hold up the world, huh? He has the strength to hold up the world. Thank you, Legs. Yeah, this is his ego. I mean, I'm just picturing one of his press people sending out emails to people in the press telling them that this happened and this is what we want you to say. Or do you not want access? God, I pray for the day that an American publication really takes a look into all of this. They're not going to do it. Oh, they're not going to do it. But I wish they would. God, I wish they would do that. I wish some investigative journalists would finally, and you need a team of them actually, need a team of some very credible people to expose all of this inconsistent information that's coming out from the palace. None of it's true. It's just a bunch of hogwash. Like says, apparently, oh, I'm sorry, I saw that one already. Oh, let me scroll. Now, this is why this has happened. Because so far, and I'm not doing this in chronological order, but I'm just going to refresh your memory about a few things because it's been a very busy year for the Sussexes already. And they said 2024, Meghan said when she was on that red carpet for the whatever that was, she hinted that there was some things coming down the pike, right? And she said it with a smile. So Harry gets the Living Legends of Aviation Award. And what is Wilson finds Tom Cruise and dusts him off and try to recognize his face and has him join him at some, what is it, ambulance air rescue? That's sexy, right? But they couldn't take it. And then, of course, Jamaica. There's Meghan in a ball gown or skirt, in a ball skirt, looking fabtabulous with her hair pulled back in the bun and everything. And, Harry looking sharp in his suit. I mean, they just look so glamorous and so beautiful. But where's Kate? And then, of course, the big announcement of the Clever Blend going to the Target stores, right? That could not have made them feel secure, especially where's Kate? How does Kate answer that with her 5 questions that took her 10 years to come up with? 10 years to come up with 5 questions about the early years or whatever that nonsense is. I don't even know what she was talking about. And of course, Harry going, don't forget the hockey game. Don't forget he did the symbolic dropping of the puck. That happened. Oh, and that there's the skirt right there. That was a moment. Flying on a plane with the, the president or CEO of Paramount Pictures to a film premiere in Jamaica. And then, of course, hanging out with the prime minister, or at least warmly greeted. I mean, look at how glamorous and beautiful they look. And unfortunately, where they used to try to have an answer for everything the Sussexes do, they can't right now because where's Kate? There's no Kate. William don't even want Kate. William didn't take Kate to New York, didn't take Kate to, not Indonesia, Bali, wherever he went, Kuala Lumpur. Where did he go? Malaysia? Anyway, he didn't even take her there. He don't want to be bothered with her. Right? Yeah, and this is the same prime minister who, by the way, just ran a marathon, you guys. This is the same prime minister that told Will and Kate that we're moving on. That's the one, wholeness. He told them, he said, we're moving on. We're done with this monarchy business. We are moving on. That's the same prime minister in the same country where Trenchtown Man lives.
Yes, Prince. Trenchtown wants $245 billion. That's what Trenchtown wants. $345 billion. Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what Trenchtown wants. Yes. What do you mean?
Yeah, when William went to Jamaica, he left with a $330 billion, $1 trillion bill. They gave him an invoice. Harry went there. He got some handshakes and, got to watch a movie and everything. William got an invoice for services rendered, reparations. They took a picture with a statue of Bob Marley, and Harry was there hugging Ziggy and Retta and all the rest of them. So it was quite a difference. And it just wasn't the same. Nobody laughed at him and called him a colonizer, but that's what happened to Will and Kate with their back to the 50s outfits. And of course, let us not forget the podcast. You see, 2024 has been very productive for the Sussexes, and they did warn people, and William is trying to have the best of both worlds. He doesn't want to work. I think so far he's made his third appearance this year. So he went to the BAFTAs. He went to that fire rescue thing with Tom Cruise, and we saw him headed to the hospital. Other than that, I don't think that William has been seen more than 3 times in 2024. If you count any more than that, let me know. But I think it's only been 3 public appearances. And Kate, 0. We don't even know where Kate is. And that probably makes a lot of us, because I don't think anybody knows where Kate is. Yeah, I say a sanitarium in Switzerland, or perhaps a convent down in Tierra del Fuego. But wherever she is, she's not around. She's not around. She didn't go to the BAFTA award. Where's Kate? Hashtag, where's Kate? Yeah, I mean, it's just, let me see. Although it's not 2023 anymore, there is at least one person who said what everybody else was thinking.
And I love Prince Harry, and Prince Harry should be king. He should be king. Prince Harry, not William. William and all of them in there, Camilla is the wicked witch of the devil himself, because she is part of why Princess Diana is not here. I do not like them. I am from the islands, and we don't need them in the Caribbean. Get lost. Demolish the monarchy. This is 2023, okay? And I will support Harry 100%. I do feel for him. Yes, I do. And everything in the book is the truth. And Charles is the monster, not Harry. Harry is no monster, not Meghan. He is bringing the story out right now. They are evil people. They are not nice. Behind the wall, we all are one human being. And behind that wall there are no difference with me and you and any other Brits.
Give the people back their money.
Give the people back the money. They are just welfare recipients living off the taxpayers of the British people. And the British people are stupid, supporting that nonsense monarchy. It is nothing. It's just a title. It means nothing, a title. I'm angry at them.
So there you go. Give the people back their money. And of course, Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, strikes podcast deal with Limonada Media, will launch new show and distribute Archetypes to all platforms. So the last time Meghan had a podcast, it knocked Joe Rogan off of his throne of 3 years, right? The sales of paid memberships for the Spotify, I think they got like 1 million new paid subscribers, like almost overnight. So good things happened for them. They made some money off of the Sussexes. And no matter what the derangers say, no matter what the tabloid media says, the Sussexes usually make money when they get involved with stuff. They make money for the people that are involved with them. So Spotify went on a spending spree trying to get all these big names. I think someone said they spent like $1 billion trying to get all these big names. And out of all the big names that they gathered in that period of time, I think most of them left. I think most of them left. I don't know who stayed, but the Obamas left? There were people that just left. They jumped ship because it's sinking. They don't do good business over there, and they want to try to blame the Sussexes, but they're bad business practice. And then, of course, Aquazera. We know that other royals have worn Aquazera shoes before, but it was only the Duchess of Sussex, as in terms of royals, that were included in the promo that they just released. She was the only one included, not Kate. Let me see who else in that family. But anyway, none of them were included, just the Duchess of Sussex. She has inspired a lot of people to go out and buy those shoes. And so there you go. And this surprise video that was trending, I mean, even the Daily Fail ran the story about that. It was fun. Nobody was looking for it. But the thing is, they know they're going to make money. They know that they can monetize all things Sussex. And then first they'll say something good about them, but it's got to include the price of their home. It has to improve it has to include something about flying on a jet. It's got to include a lot of stuff. And then they go for the jugular. Then they go in for the kill. Then they have to try to find every nasty, horrible plot and scheme to accuse them of. But they do that all the time. All the time. Not sometime, all the time. Sometimes I see an article and I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm really just there for the pictures, right? And I'm just like, oh, all right. That almost sounds like a human wrote this, but then it takes a very dark turn. I'm like, yep, this is obviously somebody, an agent of the devil that wrote this. Let's see. Rohini says, hey, Rohini, didn't Peggy also have a podcast about pegs? And yes, as a matter of fact, I did the side-by-side showing how he didn't sleep until he finally got on Apple, not just the podcast, but he had to make sure it was on Apple Plus. Yep. He had to make sure it was on Apple Plus. Lizzie34, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you for being here tonight. And as always, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Yep, that is true, Rohini. He couldn't rest until he finally got one. Let me see. Barbara Lane became a YouTube member. Very, very nice. Thank you so much for that, Barbara Lane. And thank you so much for being here. Wow, a new membership. Very, very cool. And of course, along with the new website, the new Sussex.com. Turns out they had to pay for that domain. They had to buy it from someone, and I heard they paid a nice price for it. I don't know what the amount was, but they paid someone for that domain. And so there you have it, the office of Prince Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. So again, 2024, they mean business. They're going to work very hard. And also, let me just tell you, I remember at Christmas time, there was someone who wrote how flattering it was that the Sussexes used their photo from Invictus in Germany, in Dusseldorf, there are some people in Dusseldorf are rather flattered that they include that as one of their favorite photos, and it is a great photo. So, as you can see, not only for their Christmas card, but also for their new website. And don't forget, you all, to make sure you go to that website. We want to put some traffic through there. We got to put some traffic through there so that they will know that we appreciate having it. I'm going to get the link for it right now. Oh, I don't have to get the link. It's Sussex.com. What am I doing? You already know what it is. It's Sussex.com. Let me see here. And I'm just going to see if they put anything new. Nope, they still have Thank You Canada from yesterday, I think. So we're good with that. All right, and Joan Garcia says, Baron, I'm waiting for Harry and Meghan to become billionaires. Then what will the British royal family mouthpieces, racist, hateful derangers, and trolls do? Thank you very much, Joan Garcia. Thanks for being a member, of course. Yes, I have had the misfortune of seeing some of those talking heads. Someone had posted it on Twitter, and there was, I think it was Roy Anika. No, not Roy Anika. It was the other one. I forget her name. But there she was talking about, it cost them $20 million a year for their life. They have a mortgage of $8 million. And I'm like, I thought British people don't like to talk about money. Don't they always accuse Americans of talking about money too much, right? And yet, there they were. There they were talking about money. I'm just like, that is vulgar. That is absolutely repulsive and vulgar to sit up there and discuss money. But they talked about their mortgage. They talked about their income. They have to be running out of money real soon. Well, we know Harry got some money for the book, but they are just so sure. Oh, and then they said they're obsessed with security. Well, because of the vitriol that's coming out of the Harry's home nation of birth, of course they're obsessed with security. They better be, since there is a hate campaign against them by the tabloid media, by members of the royal family, and of course all of their little flunkies within the royal household. Of course they're obsessed with security. Makes sense to me. Thank you, Joan Garcia. And Barbara Lane says, hello, everyone. Just renewed my membership. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here tonight on Royal Sussex. Very, very cool. Yeah, those memberships help out a lot, you guys. That help out a lot. So thank you all so much for the memberships, which of course started just $4.99. And did they lose it when Harry went to the NFL? Oh, some of the nasty things that they were saying about that. And of course they were saying, oh, he invited himself. He invited himself, only for Roger Goodell to say that he invited Harry. I did not realize that Harry had so much these connections within the NFL, like what's his name, Marino, or is that his name? And who else? And then the other guy. I mean, I just had no idea. I had no idea. And it was a complete surprise. Nobody ratted him out. And even the announcer, she was so relieved to finally say it. She says, so there you go. The secret's out. And again, for a country where people don't like him, where people say he's not so popular after all, why is everybody helping him and helping Meghan along the way? They are getting so much support from people. there are no leaks in Montecito. There's no leaks. They have been able to come and go and handle their business without most people taking notice. And even when you go to these restaurants and shops and things like that, you know, a lot of times those photos that we see, even though, what is it, Black Grid are the ones that publish those photos, or, you know, well, not publish them, but sell them to these various tabloids and such. A lot of times that's just someone who by chance just happened to see them and have a cell phone. And even with that, you don't get a lot of that. They come and go a lot, and we don't know the difference one way or the other. They pretty much come and go unnoticed, as it should be. But a lot of times they, you know, we hear Meghan say, well, I forgot the place she said she went. Was it to a, I can't remember, but she has been places and we had no clue about it until we hear her say it during some event, or if she's having a conversation, and we have no clue about it. So my point is, there's not a bunch of people out there ratting them out. And I recall when they said, oh, if they want privacy, or if they want their privacy, that's the worst place to go. The paparazzi out there is even worse. No, I'm going to say that what they left is probably the worst. And the ones that are here from the UK are awful. Like that one that's always trying to heckle Meghan. He's British. That is something that was imported, but especially, yeah, they're good. They're in the right place. They are in the right place. Prince Harry urged to step up and help brother Prince William in this hour of need. Does the tabloid media have personality disorders or what? If you recall, it's hard to believe it, but I thought I was going through my receipts and I'm like, wait a minute. Weren't they just saying, what is Harry going to do? Harry needs to step up. Harry needs to help. Weren't they just saying that? When I saw this, I promise you, when I saw this, I was kind of losing my mind. I'm just like, I don't know how to describe it, but I felt like I was losing my mind. I felt like I was on the other side of the looking glass. I'm like, wait a minute, you all were just saying that he needs to step up and he needs to be there, which is, and again, rinse and repeat. That was the same thing they said during the pandemic. Oh, all of these things are happening to the royal family, and Harry's in America. He's not here for his family. It's incredible how they can make everything about Harry and Meghan. Everything. Yes, I'm just sick of it. Do you hear me? Sick! I'm just sick of it. I am. I'm sick of it. Okay. If Harry is smart, he'll jump on a plane. This is the moment he must grow up and be there for his family, or face becoming irrelevant. Or face becoming irrelevant. As if. Or face becoming irrelevant. How is that possible? How is it possible for them to be irrelevant? You won't let them. Does this look irrelevant? Does any of this look irrelevant? I ask you. What's irrelevant about this? All of these beautiful photos they could not wait to publish about two of the most irrelevant people that have ever existed. There's no point to them. Why are they here? Is it because of the veterans that have been able to have a new lease on life? Because Prince Harry had this notion about using sports as a way to gather strength and build mental and physical endurance. And if it wasn't for them, how would we have this hair moment? If it wasn't for the Duchess of Sussex, would we have this hair moment right now? I mean, Michael Bublé, his wife, double date on Valentine's Day. This is rom-com. This is a living, breathing rom-com. It's a fairy tale and a rom-com all in one. And we would be missing out on it if it wasn't for Harry and Meghan. And they know that. Boy, they're irrelevant. I mean, just photo after photo. Even Harry doing the Miss Seeley fingers. We would have missed that. How would we have... How would we have seen Harry do the Miss Seeley fingers if it wasn't for them? But thank goodness for Harry and Meghan, because thanks to them, we have a chance to see the Miss Seeley fingers. And I'm enjoying it. So when I saw that, the first thing I thought of was Miss Seeley. I promise you, Miss Seeley was the first thing to come to mind when I saw that. And of course, I found someone else today. Just by chance, I found somebody else doing a Miss Seeley. There you go. There you go. Until you do right by me. Yes, even Colin Kaepernick is doing the Seeley fingers. I haven't had a chance to do this yet, but I think I'm going to incorporate that, the Miss Seeley fingers. But yeah, so they're so irrelevant. I tell you, I don't know why they bother. Harry's silence over his father and sister-in-law show he has never been more isolated. Isolated, did you say? Did they say isolated? Harry's isolated? Isolated from whom? Isolated from whom? I mean, he just had an interview on Good Morning America. Does this look isolated? Oh, and I was listening to Petal earlier. Did Petal say that one of those First Nation tribal leaders refused to meet with William and Kate? Did I hear that? Did I hear that correct? Look at these isolated people. Look at the love and affection that these isolated people are getting. Oh, they're so isolated. How do they go? How do they deal with themselves? How do they survive this desolence that they suffer through? And don't have me bring up the photos from Jamaica. When was the last time anybody just went through photo after photo of the Cambridges or the Welleses? When was the last time somebody done that? I don't even want to think about it. What was the date they went to Jamaica? You know, I want to look at that now. Anyway, I feel sorry for Harry and Meghan. They never had it so bad, being all isolated and abandoned and left alone and on their own and no friends around. I mean, only isolated people would find themselves on a double date with what's his name, Michael Bublé. Only a lonely, desperate person could find themselves double dating with Michael Bublé. That's what I call isolated and alone and desolate. You couldn't make this stuff up. You know that, right? You couldn't make it up. If somebody told you to make up something like that, you'd be at a loss. You would be at a loss. That's for sure. They're funny. I'm sorry, I have to laugh, but they're funny. I mean, at first I was kind of like a little pissed off, but right now I can't help but laugh at the silliness of it. And it is stupid. It is so stupid. Oh well. Let me continue. Oh, and of course, when Harry shows up, he didn't drop the trophy, did he? He was able to do his presentation and not stumble. He read his speech, didn't drop anything. He wasn't, bobbing and weaving and stuff like that. He just stood up there straight and waited for his introduction. He even told some jokes that were funny. But Willie was bobbing and weaving and frothing at the mouth, and then he dropped the woman's pen and all of that stuff. And there's Tom Cruise looking like what's his name just before he passed? Liberace. Doesn't Tom Cruise remind you of Liberace? I don't know why I'm thinking Liberace right now. Oh well. So there's Will out on his date with Liberace. Somebody told me that that they didn't even know who he was. They saw Tom Cruise's photo and was wondering, who the hell is that? That's okay. So long, Church of England, and hello, Church of Scientology, because William is probably practicing Scientology now. If that was Harry, they would say that Harry was a Scientologist, but no, it's Willie, so he's not. Right? They already had him put that machine on. Prince Harry induction into Aviation Hall of Fame has humiliated William, critics fume. Prince Harry will be inducted into the Living Legends of Aviation Hall of Fame in a lavish ceremony on January 19th, joining the likes of Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong. But not everyone is happy. Of course they're not. Especially William. And then over here it says, new study reveals Meghan is more influential than Kate Middleton and Prince William. A study looked into how many searches and social media views every royal received, with the Duchess scoring high in most fields. A new study has revealed that Meghan Markle is more influential than Kate Middleton. The Duchess and her husband, Prince Harry, removed themselves from royal life a number of years ago in order to live in California. But a new study has shown that she has more influence in UK culture than the popular Princess Kate. The research conducted by GetInsta analyzed global Google searches, TikTok views, Instagram hashtags, and articles of numerous British royals to identify who is the most influential. And how many times do I say it? They are the most influential royal couple in the world. The late Queen Elizabeth was ranked the most influential royal, and Prince Harry comes in second place, with Meghan following in third place before Kate, King Charles, and Prince William. Well, we know what made Lizzie popular. She died. The Queen never was at the top of most influential woman until she died. Usually it was Oprah, Michelle Obama, and Hillary Clinton. The Queen only made it to the top of those lists after she died. Well, then again, this is for the UK. It may have been the Queen. But even with that, Harry actually was above the Queen in popularity several times. They would kind of go back and forth, but Harry, quite a few times, was more popular than the Queen. And then all of that that I just shared about Harry and Meghan for this year, and then suddenly we find out Princess Kate to stay in hospital 10 to 14 days. There was an abdominal surgery, we found out, right? So all of this with Harry and Meghan, we've only seen William 3 times since Christmas, right? 3 times since Christmas. And every place you go, every place you look. So I think what's happening is that they're trying to slow the momentum of Harry and Meghan with these ridiculous articles and all this no way in, no way out, no way back, no way forth. I think they're just trying to slow the momentum because the Sussexes are on a roll. And for whatever is going on with Kate, whatever's going on with William, it could not have been a worse time for this because the Sussexes are, planning a big year. They have confirmed that this is going to be a big year for them. So too bad for those other two. And then right here, did Harry hear about King's illness from the media, claims Palace message? Well, we already know that Harry said it was over the phone. Let me see. Sussexes maintain public silence over King Charles and Kate's medical drama. So again, you want them to, and just think about that. Harry should not have said anything about his father. But right here, they're bullying him for not saying something about his father. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So here, you're getting on his case for saying nothing. And then when he says nothing, okay, he did speak, but he said nothing essentially. Harry said something and nothing at all about his father. And even that wasn't good enough. Whatever he said wouldn't have been right either way. So they're mad because he didn't acknowledge it. Then when he says something, then they say, oh, he shouldn't have said anything. Then why are you saying that? Ugh. Do you understand why I'm frustrated? I'm starting to laugh like a crazy person, but do you understand why I'm frustrated? First, you're mad because he didn't say something, and then when he says something, now you're angry. Even though he didn't disclose any private information, he said that's between him and me. And now you're saying he shouldn't have said anything. Make up your GD mind. First you say he shouldn't say so. First you say he didn't say something, and then when he does say something, he shouldn't have said anything at all. These are the same papers that pointed out that there was nothing said. Harry never liked staying in the UK. He only wants to travel there with his family sometimes to show his kids his country and for a court. He is not interested in being imprisoned by the gray suits. Hear, hear. Absolutely. Yeah, they be tripping. They be tripping. Yeah, don't let the rotor play with your mind. And of course, one of the derangers made that thing with Harry sitting on Snoopy's doghouse, pretending to be the Red Baron. And so I decided, oh, okay, I think it looks more like Willie. So I swapped faces and put Willie on the doghouse. And of course, again, you can see the Sussexes having a warm, friendly exchange with the Prime Minister of Jamaica, compared to William, who stood to the side, twitching his mouth and blinking, and Kate trying to talk to the First Lady of Jamaica about the early years. So I didn't want William to be left out. So there you go. Living Legends of Aviation, produced by the Kitty Hawks Air Academy. Prince William is a living legend of aviation. All you need is a quarter down at your local supermarket. So, I got a soundbite for you. You guys are going to love this. This one is new. I don't think I've ever seen this person before. I don't know who she is, but I'm guessing she's like a comedian or something. Okay.
William, darling, take it from me, and I know you won't because you're your father's son. But if you had any sense, and God knows you ought to by now, dear heart, you'd take it on the chin like the prince you are and apologize to your brother. I know you think it's he who should apologize, but I need you, William, to focus on how little that matters anymore. What sort of king do you imagine you're going to be in the 21st century if you're not on speaking terms with the people's prince? I'll tell you what kind, the besieged kind. You'll be barricaded in your castle while those ghastly clowns in Westminster pillage Britain and Fleet Street convinces the poor people it's your fault, and you know where that leads. Harry will be gallivanting around with the entire Commonwealth in his pocket, and you, darling, at the rate you're going, you'll be lucky to hang on to the crown. I'm sorry, but you know it's true, and who else is going to tell you? Because let's face it, your father's entirely lost control of the narrative, hasn't he? As for that minx you married, I do declare I half think she's the root of the problem. Glad to hear she's home and recovering, by the way, from whatever it was. But not one for competition, is she? Pulled rank on the newcomer, then found she couldn't pull focus. It looks bad, William. It reeks of racism. It looks so bad that any fool could see you and Catherine need to put aside whatever personal objections you have to that lovely girl and meet the challenges of Harry's book. You know he has a point, darling, and half the kingdom may be backing you, but it's not the larger half. It's up to you, William, to mend this breach. And if not for the sake of the kingdom, then do it to save your own arse.
So there you go. I hope you guys could hear that. I just turned the microphone up because I wasn't sure. But yeah, do it to save. I just noticed his teeth are yellow. Do it to save your own arse. But yeah, so she is channeling Diana by giving him this warning about his, losing control of things. He's lost the message. Now, let's get to William and BAFTA. I started looking at that very stoic, empty face of the BAFTA, the mask. And I started thinking, William kind of looks like a mask, void of any emotion. Kind of like a template to the likes of which you can just, add features and emotions, if at all possible. So I thought, wow, he looks pretty much as vacant in the eyes as that BAFTA mask. But anyway, William went to the BAFTA Awards alone. And I decided that I would let you guys know that there was an independent film called The Oyster Man, starring Prince William. Did you guys know that? It was one of those art house movies. It's called The Oyster Man, starring Prince William. Prince William is the Oyster Man. It's about a prince who was feeling insecure because of his brother, and he decided that he would go to New York City alone without his wife. He thought he would go to New York City and try to make a name for himself. So he packed up all his cares and woes and took his private jet to Manhattan. And there he was able to make friends and even convinced them to get into that, harbor water with him and search for oysters. No easy task, of course, but he managed to do it. So, yes, there was a major motion picture that you all kind of missed out on because we were so busy looking at Harry and Meghan with Beyonce and everything, so we probably missed it. But it's called The Oyster Man. And right here is another one of the promos that they had for Prince William, The Oyster Man. And as you can see right there, British Academy of Film Awards, right? So he was nominated, but I don't think he won. But there you have it. William is the Oyster Man. Thank you, Stevie Ross. And, they did make the announcement, Pakistani Prince, Prince William going to the BAFTA Awards, and they were right. He went. He actually went to the BAFTA Awards. And by the way, since Prince William has gone to the BAFTA Awards, I just want you guys to know that there's still 6 weeks of winter left. There's 6 more weeks of winter. Anytime William steps out for the BAFTA Awards and he sees his shadow, then you know that we have 6 more weeks of winter left. I don't know who that is in that very daring split, but I just realized you can see a lot. But but she's the one who played Kate. You know, you wouldn't think there were 2 people anywhere in the world that could look that vacant in the face, that dull, that what is it? Uncurious. But yet they found an actress to play young Kate Middleton in college. I couldn't believe it either, but they found someone to play Kate Middleton. They had to really search. They needed someone who didn't look too with it, if you know what I mean. Somebody who didn't seem to be all together there. Someone who will spend 10 years trying to figure out 5 questions and all that kind of stuff. So they found someone. And she was so good, I can't remember her name, but that's how good she was. B. Martin says, I live in New York. I didn't know that River had any oysters, but bodies, yeah. Oh boy, B. Martin, if he would have pulled a femur out of that water, I would have screamed. That would have been so funny. Yes, thank you so much for that. But yeah, he went looking for oysters. Why, I don't know, but he thought it was a good idea. And of course, at the time, people criticized him. They said, if you're going to worry about the quality of water in New York, why don't you come and check some of this runoff from the UK? Come and check out our waters. But of course, the media, the invisible contract, they're not going to say anything. And there he is, living it up. You would never know that his wife was at home recovering from abdominal surgery or whatever she's doing, but you would never know it because he was the life of the party. Woo, boy, he's having a good time. And you know that little weasel Beckham, David, please give me a knighthood Beckham. It's easy to get him to show up. All you have to do is say that Prince William will be there. And there he is, Johnny on the spot, looking for his knighthood. And it was kind of sad because in the comments, that's what people were saying was, give him his knighthood. Why don't William, when you become king, first thing, please make sure he gets his knighthood. Give him his knighthood. That's all they keep saying. They got so many people out there that are saying, give him his knighthood. And of course, these unfortunate young ladies found themselves trapped with one of the dullest people that has ever drawn a breath. You know, you go to the BAFTA Awards and you think, wow, there should be some interesting people there. Sure hope I don't run into, and before you could even get the words out of your mouth, there he is. Like, wow, this is so cool. I'm so glad I came to the BAFTA Awards. I hope I don't run into, you know. And then next thing you know, you can't get away. YM Droid, it looks like that actress was flashing her Princess Kitty, just like Kate. So she was still in character. Is that what it was? She was still in character. I didn't understand what I was looking at, but I get it now. And by the way, thank you for 12 months membership. Yeah, she's still in character. She's still in character. She's actually auditioning for the next season of The Crown. Yes, she is still in character. I know, that is hilarious. Well, I mean, if you're going to play Kitty, there's only one way to play Kitty, and that is you got to get into character. Leg says, that's, oh, honey, look, darn, isn't it Prince Harry? Oh, well, now, as you know, I don't take credit for other people's stuff, but check it out. Someone decided to caption these photos. Right there, you can see he says, oh, I love black people. And then, of course, girl, just be still, and maybe he'll go away. And then the last one says, what the frappuccino? I'ma just stand here and smile. Please don't notice me. Oh, man. Anyway, that is courtesy of one of the squatties on Twitter. And of course, you know, I don't like to put people's accounts up there because, as you know, the Rangers like to go into people's accounts and wreak havoc. So didn't have permission to share that, but I did have a chance to share the photos. But yeah, I thought those were hilarious. Really? Really? Oh, okay. Fantasia at the BAFTA Awards? Did not know that. Okay, I'm looking. I don't see any photos for her. Let me see. See if I can find the red gown. Yeah, I don't think they have any of the photo. Oh, wait. Oh, drama. Okay, I'm going to share it. Give me a minute. Drama. I love it. This is beautiful. This is a moment. Thank you so much for that, Lola Love. Fantasia is causing it. She is causing it. She is eating it up. She is eating it up. Wait till you see this. Wait, where is it? There we go. What? What happened? What happened? What happened? Look at that. Let me take this background away so you can see it clearly. What happened? What y'all talking about? What you talking about, Willis? Check it out. Check it out. I don't think I've ever seen her look so good. I don't think I've ever seen her look so good. That is like one of the best things she's ever worn. Beautiful. Beautiful. That is beautiful. Yep, that is beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Yep, I'm here for it. I am here for it. That is gorgeous. Right? She did good. She did very good. I don't think I've ever seen her look so good. Let me see. Where is the Star Trek teleport when you need it? Okay, I got you. Let me see here. Yep, that could have been a caption. Scotty, beam me up. I think you better beam me up, Scotty. This man is crazy. Beam me up. Oh, thank you so much for that, Lorna Williams, and thank you for being a member. Yes, beam me up. Where is the teleport when you need it? Here, here. The hard part is getting the communicator out. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out that little Captain Kirk flip phone and manage to get them to get you out of there. Oh my God, I love it. I love that. Okay, thank you so much, Lorna Williams. Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, she looks good. I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so Kate Middleton snubbed by Prince William as royals arrive. I'm sorry, Kate Middleton snubbed by Prince William as royals arrived at BAFTA red carpet. Wait a minute, is that a real story? Oh yes, that's when she tried to reach for him and he kind of, yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. And then over here, Kate Middleton snubbed. Yeah, that was twice. It says that Kate Middleton appeared to be rejected by husband Prince William when she went to grab his hand on BAFTA star-studded red carpet at the BAFTAs, but it was likely a misunderstanding. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Now, mind you, that was just last year. That was just last year that happened. All right, misunderstanding. Yeah, stuff like that happens all the time to Kate. Yeah. And then right here, Kate's disjointed BAFTA look makes sense if you pay attention to her transition. Well, that is like a compliment and an insult at the same time, isn't it? Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, made a fashion miss, according to a number of content creators, but recent events mean it all makes sense. You know, I think what it is that when Kate wore that black gown, remember the one where Tom Cruise helped her up the steps? I thought her arms looked particularly muscular and not in a flattering way. So I think that she's either going to do the opera gloves or she's going to avoid baring her arms so much because they did not look so good there. I'm just being honest. I ain't even trying to be funny. They did not look good. And so to wear that gown again, I mean, I don't know what changed. Maybe it's because she had lost so much weight at that point, but her arms looked bad. They looked very bad. So But wow, disjointed. I wouldn't say that. Well, it is disjointed. I mean, the white dress with the black opera gloves, it looks kind of weird. It does look kind of weird. And plus, as you can see, she's had that gown before, and they changed the sleeve. It was like a big poof on the over the shoulder there. Well, they took that off, or they trimmed it down, or something like that. But either way, she reached for her husband. He rejected her, and that's it. Prince William and Duchess Kate will not attend the 2022 BAFTAs due to a diary constraint. Well, the truth is, when they went the year before, they had actually got snubbed. They got snubbed really bad. They walked through the crowd, and nobody acknowledged them. They walked through, and it was so quiet you could hear a rat piss on cotton. That's how quiet it was. And right there, you can see she's wearing the gown. Oh, see there? See how muscular her arms look? Yeah, that is why she wore the gloves. But Kate Middleton snubbed by Prince William. Yeah. Oh, well, I said that a couple of times. But yeah, when they walked in, it was dead silence. And that wasn't the first time. The people at BAFTA do not like William. They don't care for Kate. When they had the Me Too and they asked all the women to wear black, because she thought it was too political, she wore a dark green, and she had a black belt on, and people were just like, you shouldn't even bother. Why are you here anyway? But they don't like them at the BAFTA. And right there, you can see the Imelda Marcos. She's channeling Imelda Marcos with that gown, with the that kind of like Imelda Marcos like sleeve. Harry and Meghan were not welcome to star-studded BAFTA tea party in Los Angeles, with London executives deciding it would be a PR disaster following the fallout of Spare. This is another one of those things that they just created out of nothing. Why would Harry and Meghan go to the BAFTA tea? Well, to let you know, every year they have a tea. They have like a little luncheon for the BAFTA Awards in LA for people who aren't going to go to London, right? So they have a celebration in LA where people in the industry can get together. But the truth is, most people don't go. When was the last time you ever saw anyone cover the BAFTA award tea in LA? It's a big fat nothing burger. I said it before and I'll say it again. This idea that the Sussexes are not welcomed, that the Sussexes are not invited, that they're excluded from this red carpet and that red carpet, they are invited and they just don't go. They invite a lot of people, to be fair, but unless you're promoting a project, unless you have a movie or something in the works, there's no reason to go unless you're promoting something. Do you know how many stars there are in Hollywood that do not go to most of these events? They just don't. They come out to support their friends and such. There's not even room for the amount of famous people that they can invite to these events. Most people go, just like the talk show. When you got something to talk about, you go on a talk show. You got a movie coming out, a book, whatever. You go on a talk show. But nobody hits that red carpet just for the sake of it. It's a novelty your first time. And then after that, it's like, well, why would I go through this trouble if I'm not promoting anything? So they made that up, the idea that the Sussexes were not. Who the hell even knew there was some BAFTA award tea? I had never in my life heard of it until they decided to come for Harry and Meghan. That's the only reason why we're talking about it. I bet you most of you all never heard of a BAFTA tea before. BAFTA tea? What is that? So it's not so much a PR disaster for them. It was a chance for them to monetize to get clicks and engagement for a rag. Meanwhile, Will and Kate, they were invited to the BAFTA Awards. And you see how everybody's standing there looking at each other? Look at the people in the background looking at each other. You guys, I promise you, if you go and Google Will and Kate at the BAFTA Awards, you will be shocked to see them walk in, and there's no applause, there's no whooping, no hollering, nothing. Nothing. They walk in and it's dead silence. You would think it was a funeral. Let me see. Well, I mean, right there, I don't know. There's something weird going on with her arms. I think they're a little bit more muscular, and I'm not trying to be shady, but it's not one of her assets, if you know what I mean. I mean, right here, it's almost like a Popeye thing she got going on. And I'm not laughing. I'm not trying to be funny, but she's got a little bit of a Popeye thing going on. You know how Popeye's forearms are much bigger than the upper arm? Well, you know, she's got a little bit of a Popeye. And as she's gotten older, it hasn't gotten more attractive. But I mean, I'm trying to be polite. I don't want to, you know, come for her for something that she has no control over. But she's got a little bit of a Popeye. So when she wore that white gown again, she decided, I better cover up these guns because I don't want to get, you know, in trouble. I'll never make it through the metal detector. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. Let me stop. But did somebody just say sway? I thought you just said sway. B. Martin says, well, Sway was ignored tonight. Nobody knew he was there. I saw that. Thank you, B. Martin. I saw that. And, you know, I'm going to tell you what I think happened tonight. Because they have walked in and have been ignored, they didn't do the announcement. You know, usually they make the announcement and William and Kate walks in from up there at the top, right? But this time, William came in through one of the side aisles and nobody was paying him attention. So they're trying to distract from the fact that people hate him on a cellular level. They find themselves up at night gnashing their teeth with the idea that this heretic is going to come and preside over the event as the president of the BAFTA Awards. He can't act, he can't sing, he can't tell a joke, he can barely fly a helicopter. Why is he here? 30 tweets in 50 minutes. The Royals pay for positive online publicity. I can count 500 tweets from 7 accounts. Shame on Prince of Pegging. Wouldn't hold his own wife's hand on the red carpet. And let me see, what year was that? I think that was 2023, was it? Anyway, no, then 23 was the Black Gloves. I think this was 22, or I don't know what year it was, but yeah, they use bots to try to promote them. 500 tweets from 7 accounts. 500 tweets. These are just some receipts that I saved, by the way. And right there, Dr. Shola said of the BAFTA Awards, what year was this? Was this 2023? That every BAFTA winner is white. It is not shocking. It's intentional to exclude and discriminate. So very British. That's what Dr. Shola said about last year's BAFTA award. There's a creepy discomfort that the awards were benefiting from the work and presence of many people of color without ever handing them a statuette. the winner of the BAFTA 2023 at the Royal Festival Hall, London, and that was on the 19th of February 2023. Yes, so as you can see there, the only person of color that you see was the person that was hosting the show. What's her name there? But yeah, but no black people or anybody else won an award. Not one single person. So, in other words, business as usual. Kate, your best friend 1 minute and your worst enemy the next. Prince William and Kate Middleton both have extreme mood swings. Kate and William have blistering rows, and one is a shouter, claims expert. So I'm getting close to I think I still got about another 10 slides if you want to know. But let me finish up with this by showing you these next slides. So, Kate. It seemed like ending last year, let me see, that was January 2024, and early this year, before they knew she had surgery, they were slowly and meticulously coming after Kate. And when I say they, I'm just going to say they. I don't want to say who. I'm just going to say they. But they keep leaking these stories or printing stories about heated rows, fights, or whatever. We've seen bandages or plasters on the fingers for some odd reason. A lot of weird stuff that seems to have no explanation. And ending the year, well, actually, this was just the other day, right? William goes to the, was that the air ambulance, was it? No, this was after the investiture. Yeah, so that was the air ambulance. So he goes there, and Kate's not there, but there's some mysterious brunette next to him. And they say that's his cousin or whatever, but oh well, say what you will. None of our business, of course. But he looks very calm and peaceful, especially when you consider he started his day off like this. I guess whatever it was must have worn off, and then he found himself relaxed and eating dinner, doing his imitation of Napoleon or something. But that was weird enough, and this was like a response to Harry's outings as of late. King has cancer, right? We get that. William to fill in, right? So Clarence House says King has cancer. William's people say that William to fill in. The King says, no, I'm going to carry out all my constitutional duties. And then William to prioritize family. There is conflict between the two houses of Windsor. There is conflict. I don't think Clarence House and Kensington Palace is talking. Clarence House, of course, being Charles and Camilla, and Kensington Palace, Will and Kate. So in chronological order, in just a few days, you can see that there's a rift. The King has cancer. William's people say, oh, William's going to fill in. We're going to make sure he looks busy, or we're just going to say he's going to be busy, which is usually what they do. And then Charles pushes back and say, I don't need any help. I don't want any help. Don't come near this place. And then, of course, William's people says, oh, we're going to prioritize family. Well, isn't that what they said when Kate first went into the hospital? They said, oh, William is also going to take some time off so he could take care of Kate. William was not supposed to come out until Kate comes out, right? And then the next day, after so many people complained, they said William is going to make sure that Kate is okay before he steps out. And of course, after that thing with the King's cancer, then all of a sudden they say he's going to fill in for Charles which doesn't mean that he was going to do anything. They always make announcements about what William intends to do, like housing for the homeless, peace in the Middle East, getting rid of all of the ivory in the royal collection. There's too many black people in Africa. Let me see what else. Oh, and don't be racist to the footballers, but you can say whatever you want to about my nephew of mixed race, right? There's that. And let me think. You can put some in the chat if you can think of some more what William's going to do. But William's always got something that William's about to do, and he never sees it through. And because Harry had so much success with the Invictus games this week, then they had to announce again William's intention to put housing, spend $3 million for housing on the homeless, instead of renovating the stock of empty flats all over the country. They'd rather build something new. But again, it's just a proposal. One reason why it's going to fall flat is because William never finishes anything he starts, ever. It took him until age 40, age 40, to come up with the Earth flop, the Earth shot. It took him 40 years to establish Earth flop. By the time Charles was 40, Charles was able to speak 3 or 4 languages. He had the Prince's Trust. He had a lot of things going on long before William. I think Charles started the Prince's Trust when he spent his time in the Navy. I'm just saying. Oh, thank you, Black Queen. Black Queen says, if you haven't already done it, please make sure you hit the thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed, please do. It helps out the channel so much. Consider getting a Royal Sussex membership. All of these things support the Royal Sussex channel. Thank you so much. And, of course, I am waiting for Troop in the Colors, because rumor has it that Camilla is going to lead the procession. Now, oh, by the way, you guys, I'm going to give you full disclosure here, and it makes a lot of sense. And I just want anyone who's from Spaces to know I do listen to what you all say. I don't always agree, but I do take a lot of things under consideration. Anybody here tell you, I'm always talking about what I don't tell anybody's name, but I say, oh yeah, on Spaces they were saying. Well, one of the things they were saying on Spaces is that we shouldn't talk about these things because it may encourage engagement. Like, for instance, talking about William with the BAFTA Awards is bringing attention and engagement to the BAFTA Awards. But then I feel like if I don't say something, that my head is going to explode, because I do get a little bit outraged by some of the stuff that they say and everything. And I think that both things could be true at the same time. Yes, it does bring about engagement and stuff. But then again, if you're getting your information from one of the Sussex-friendly spaces and you're not going to those sites, then it doesn't help them out at all. Plus, we really do have to know what's going on, because how can you push back if you don't know what you're pushing back against? Because they have created a narrative designed to make the Sussexes unpopular. And of course, what we do is push back against that. And it does make a difference, because without that, a lot of those tabloid reporters and such, they would just willy-nilly and at any time put all this false information out. And people who don't know better, they'll say things like, oh, well, what is this about those bullying claims? If we didn't push back against that, that would have been the end of the story, right? It's a lot of things that if we don't push back, that would be the end of it. So I think that there's a balance that should be reached, and we have to consider that every time we watch one of those hate shows, we're we don't know what part of the numbers we are. We don't know how much percentage of, Sussex friendly people are viewing those things. But I'm here to tell you, it's not so many people that are watching. And out of the not so many people, I would hate to think that even 10% of the viewers, of the readers, are people who support the Sussexes. So at the end of the day, we all grown. We can't tell other people what to do. You can't tell people how to love or support their faves. But I think it's okay just to, remind people or give people options as to, what's this and what's that. I think that's okay. And then you make your own conclusions. So I do listen to a lot of the stuff that they say because, some things I really do agree with. And I'm just like, oh yeah, I better stop clicking on this and opening that up because I definitely don't want to help this person or that person. So my big cutback is going to be Talk TV, although I do mostly quote them or share videos from other content creators. I don't usually go to them. So that is what I'm going to try to do, is just to make sure that I'm not watching them real time, just to avoid giving them the engagement. And I'll try to get what I need from the other content creators. So sometimes when I play these sound bites, I didn't actually watch. Actually, most times I haven't watched the show. I got it from another squatty. So that way we're not giving them the engagement. And I think most of y'all probably don't go on those things. So, but if you are, that's your business. But I just want to remind you that for the sake of your mental health and well-being, if you are finding yourself triggered and stressed by some of the content that you're taking in, do remember you can always switch it off. Even if it's Royal Sussex, when this gets to be too much for you, take a break. Take a break. Don't do yourself in, unnecessarily, because Harry and Meghan are going to be fine. They're going to be fine. And there's a lot of people that support them. And there's a lot of new people. I mean, there's almost another 400 new subscribers to Royal Sussex already this month. So, our community is growing. So just wanted to share some food for thought. Thank you for hearing me out. Now let's continue. Missing, but not missed. If you have any information, please contact GB News, GB Views at gbnews.com. Reward £1 for those who can find her. Still missing, you guys. Still missing. They said she moved from one house to the other. Still, there's no evidence of that. We don't know where she is. And I, for one, I am curious. I would like to know, because all of these things will have some indirect effect on the Sussexes. Like, for instance, I'm pretty sure most of us hope that Charles lives for a very long time, because we're already getting enough negativity and leaking and briefing from Kensington Palace as it is. Could you imagine what life is going to be like once that crazy person has all the keys to the kingdom? I'm not looking forward to that day. But when it happens, oh well, we'll be here to push back. I can't even repeat that comment. That comment sounds like something from one of those Robert Stack shows. Oh, Pippa's still holding vigil for her sister Kate Middleton. Another day, another bikini. Pippa Middleton's sun-soaked half-term getaway continues at the glitzy Eden Rock Hotel in St. Bart's, owned by her husband's family. Yes, there you can see Pippa Middleton taking in the sun and the fun. Actually, the caption at the top, I wrote that one. But the one at the bottom, that one comes from the Daily Fail. But yeah, Pippa is still distraught and heartbroken and worried about Kate. And just like they promised, she is helping out. Now, yesterday, I shared this. Her Royal Hotness Pippa Middleton looks, Pippa Middleton 40 looks sensational in her 232-pound Vicks bikini as she enjoys the sun in St. Bart with her husband and young children. And again, Pippa is holding vigil. Pippa is holding vigil. Well, as you know, according to some of the people in the UK, Pippa is like the Meghan the Stallion of extended family. Oh yeah, she's like Meghan the Stallion, honey. She is built like this and built like that. Oh yeah, apple bottom. Okay, maybe not apple. How about banana peel bottom? What's that cactus leaf that they eat? What's that cactus leaf called? Anyway, maybe like that. No, that's not good. That's got dimples in it. Pancake bottom. And then, of course, as I shared yesterday, one of the squatties went there. One of the squatties went there and shared this GIF along with it. Just so happens to have been it was in the comments. It was in the thread from the photos. Well, that's not enough. Anyway, let me stop. Never mind. Well, I tell you, those Middleton women are very muscular, aren't they? They are very muscular. You know, they get that from their mama. Very muscular. Yep, they get that from their mama. So we haven't seen a lot of Omid Scobie, and that's a good thing. I'm hoping Omid Scobie is working. I hope he's laying low. I hope he's not over in the UK. I hope he's over here because he had been threatened. They were messing with his family and stuff like that. So, yeah, I hope he's okay. And, Omid Scobie tried. He wrote the book, and I think that the book was, they kind of shouted down the success of the book, and with the whole thing about the naming the races and everything. Well, just think about it. The book was published by one of those Murdoch companies. The leak came from somebody within the Murdoch company, so it was no way the book was supposed to win. I mean, you had the Murdoch news people putting the book down because they don't really depend on profit from these books. A lot of those books are written just to keep people on the talk shows. One for all for one. Get it? One for all. That was a response to Omid Scobie's book. Because of the whole thing about who's the racist, they decided that they would, have to work very hard. But you know what? I think that the response that they had is, I think it just kind of wore them down. Not that it caused any illness or anything, but I think the shock of being called out, I think that kind of scared them. I think that kind of frightened them a bit because it's just another sign that they're losing control. It's no different than the trip to Jamaica and, to the Caribbean. It's no different than the Caribbean tour. And those things are going to keep happening, whether it involves Omid Scobie, whether it involves the Sussexes or whoever. Even if it's the sick old man, Andrew, they're going to keep having these things happen because they're just not popular. None of those four people are really popular. To the royalists, yeah, they're gold, but to the greater world, um, they're unnecessary. Oh yeah, by the way, keep calm. There are no leaks in Montecito. United and Defiant. Again, this was a response to that book. That book really shook up the House of Windsor. It really shook them up. It was all out. Every hand on deck. It almost seems like this was a year ago, but this was just what was it, December? Wasn't that long ago? And poor Kitty just couldn't handle it, could she? Let me see. Harry, who? Royals to put on a united front at Buckingham Palace reception tonight as they brush off Omid Scobie racism row with a series of engagements with adoring members of the public. And I said, I don't know how much longer they can keep this up. I don't know how much longer they can keep this up. Now, mind you, I said that back in 2022. I had never seen them work so much. And now it's like they're not working at all. There's nobody working. Right now, it's just like dead air. Nobody's working. Who would have thunk it? Nobody's working. And fortunately, Omid Scobie refused to apologize, and I'm glad he did not apologize. I don't think he was supposed to apologize. It was the truth. Everybody knows it. I'm not necessarily sure that it was limited to Charles and Kate. I'm pretty sure Willie Leaks is in there somewhere, but they're just afraid to say his name because Willie Leak is all they have left. And right there, make me king. All of it. Look, remember that? I know I just shared this last week, but I keep doing it because I just want to remind you of the campaign that they had to try to build up public sentiment to push Charles out the way. I think they really tried it. This did not happen by chance. This was a concerted campaign to try to oust Charles from the throne or to prevent him from ever getting on the throne. And it didn't work. But it was a lot of plotting and scheming against Clarence House. And then there was pushback. Now, this was the last time that we saw Kate. That was the Christmas Day at the church. Kate is trying to raise our future king, so it shouldn't be seen as not working hard, Richard Eden tells Palace Confidential, after she was called a part-time royal by Omid Scobie and carried out just 128 engagements. Well, if it's not part-time, what is it? What is it? She has 62 employees, including nannies. It's not like she has to cook or clean or anything if she chooses not to. How many single mothers have put their kids through college? And this supposedly healthy young woman can't do any better with a house full of staff people? But again, this is how we ended the year. This is how they ended the year. And now Kate is missing. And, I keep looking at that photo on the right because both she and William really messed up that night. They really messed up. They embarrassed Crown Princess Victoria by ignoring her. Now, some people were saying that Kate was being shady because Kate doesn't do well around other women. She don't have any female friends. You can never point at any woman and say that is Kate's best friend. We don't know of any woman that's ever been close to Kate besides her mother. And that's the truth. She was very shady to any of Harry's girlfriends. And of course, very shady toward Meghan. So she's not a girl's girl, that's for sure. Not a girl's girl. But considering where we are now, you have to think about how bad she looked on the way out and how there has been all of these articles saying that there's been arguments, that there's been too much drinking, and God knows what else. And I think people talk too much about the Rose Garden when that's probably the least of the problems. I'm not saying that the Rose Garden is not a factor, but surely there's something else going on. And I am curious to know. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am so curious to know. B. Martim, you're on fire tonight. She was half in, half out. You know that thing they didn't want to give Harry? Yeah, she's half in, half out. Oh, thank you for that. Prince William and Kate Middleton slammed for horrible conduct after awkward moment with the Princess of Sweden goes viral. Oh boy, the people in Sweden, they were furious about that. They were furious. But it seems like there was more going on there. I don't think that they were being deliberately rude as much as the two of them are just so broken. They're very broken people. Troubled souls, if you will. Obsessed with Meghan. Kate Middleton secretly copies Meghan Markle despite resenting her. Well, I mean, that has been floating around for a while. And I can't help but think that part of what's caused Kate's breakdown is the fact that they were trying to make her do something or be someone she's not. That had to be a lot of pressure, wearing clothes that you don't like. And she didn't like those clothes. That's why they never looked good on her. It wasn't just that she doesn't wear fashion well, but she didn't like it. Kate's comfort point is wearing those coat dresses. That's why she did it for so long. Is because that's where she was comfortable. She doesn't like that kind of dressing. It doesn't suit her. It's not her taste. I mean, there was plenty of opportunities for her to dress like that before, and she just didn't do it, partly because she doesn't have good taste, and also that's not her comfort zone. But they were forcing her to be Meghan. I think that would ruin just about anybody. You know, but that is the life that her mother wanted for her. That is what she wanted for herself. And so it's kind of hard to have sympathy considering how awful that she and William have been to Meghan and Harry. They have been terrible. They've been awful people, hateful, awful people. Let me see. Kate overshadow. Oh, yeah. So I put that way too high and too small. But that was when Kate went to the flower show ahead of Charles and Camilla. And see, the problem with that was that they didn't know that she was going. And so by the time Charles and Camilla arrived, Kate had already been there for a while. All the cameras were on Kate, right? So poor Kate, they don't want Kate at events with Charles and Camilla unless it's like Trooping the Colors or, you know, the Commonwealth. Other than that, there's no room for Kate. William doesn't want Kate. So who in the family is there to fight for Kate? Nobody. You're certainly not going to get the York sisters to speak up for her. Princess Anne could care less. You know, she's not friends with Zara. Zara's not even her friend. I don't know that I've ever seen much of an exchange with Zara, the York sisters, or anybody. She does not have any friends. She's the one that's isolated, not Harry, not Meghan. She's isolated. And now she's not even around. But she really messed up with that flower show. That was a huge mistake. I don't know who put her up to it, but that was a huge mistake. The only thing that she was doing right was pretending to be Meghan. I'm not saying she was doing it good. I'm just saying that's the only thing that she could do right because Meghan's nowhere around. But other than that, Aside from speaking about the early years, there was nothing for her to do. William doesn't even welcome her anymore. Her husband does not want her around. That's why he went off to Singapore by himself. That's why he went to New York by himself, because he wants people to envision a world without Kate Middleton in the royal family. I mean, it's just so obvious. Kind of sad, but obvious. King and Queen are joined by almost all of the family for Christmas at Sandringham, including William and Kate, their children, the Tyndalls, Andrew and Fergie, while Harry and Meghan stay away. It almost makes me wonder, was there some type of power play and somebody overestimated their worth, and then somebody else said, you know what, I can teach you, or I can show you better than I can tell you. And then next thing you know, they're nowhere around. But yet, we're supposed to talk about Harry being blocked. It seemed like Kate is the one that's blocked. Harry's not blocked. Harry's got a life in California. Kate seems to be the one blocked. I don't know what her status is. She may very well be sick or recovering, but it seems like nobody wants her around. It seems like nobody wants her around. She is vanished without a trace. Nobody came to see her at the hospital, right? How are you, the Princess of Wales? You're in the hospital. You have no visitors, not your mother. Your sister's in St. Bart showing off that little pancake. Nothing. No flowers. You didn't see anybody walk through with flowers. There was no press coverage of flowers outside or flowers being delivered, even flowers being taken home. Nothing. Nothing at all. There's no mention of progress. Nobody's talking about Kate is on the mend. None of that. You got to admit that's a bit strange. That is a bit strange, even for that family. Anyway, this is the last slide. Harry, every morning after waking up and remembering he has his own family and is living in California, in Montecito, where there are no leaks. And with that, folks, I am done. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you all for your very generous contributions to Royal Sussex. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And thanks for the laughs, everybody. That was fun. Kind of sad for Kate, though. Kind of sad for Kate. It's like everything they're saying about Harry and Meghan really means Kate. Kate is boxed out, blocked, obstructed by whatever means necessary. She's not around. Harry and Meghan, they're living their best life in California. William's only worked 3 times this year. 3 times. We're already past the middle of February. And William has worked 3 times this year. 3 times. Actually, that wasn't even work. We saw him go to the hospital. That's not work. So he's only had 2 engagements. No, 3, because don't forget, the investiture is counted as 1 engagement. The air ambulance, even though it's the same day, that's another engagement. And what else was there? Oh, and the BAFTA award. So that's 3 engagements. So at this rate, by the end of the year, William may have about 30 engagements. Kate, 0. Because remember, she's not coming back for 9 months. Interesting. But I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm nosy and I want to know what's happening. Good night, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. This has not been a Mark Goodson or a Bill Totson production. No animals were injured throughout the making of Royal Sussex. And of course, there's no, I don't know what I was going to say, but yeah, that's it. I got to put my humidifier back on. I say that every day. Every day I say that. I've already taken it down for the year because it got warm. That was a mistake. This is going to be very interesting. Sure is. Wouldn't that be something? Lola Love says, I think those tabloids know something, but they have been silenced. We haven't even heard anything else from the Spanish press, rather. Yeah, they're not saying anything else. Yep. Well, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. It is very curious, though. I mean, would they have the nerves to come back with a new face, a new butt, and all that kind of stuff? Is it something cosmetic going on? But people have been saying that something went terribly wrong. And not just from the Spanish press, I've heard that, but people are speculating that something allegedly terrible happened. Oh, and one of these slides are from the 28th. One of these slides are from the 28th of December. Let me see which one that was. One of these was from the 28th of December. And the reason why the 28th is so important is because that was the day that they saw that those vehicles headed toward the hospital. And I can't remember which slide it was, and I meant to make a note of it. That was my intention, was to make a note of it. But one of these slides is from the 28th, and I can't remember which one. 28th of December. And that was when someone saw the vehicles headed toward the hospital. Why was that important? I can't remember. The 28th. One of these is from the 28th, and I don't know which one it is. 28th of December. And I made a mental note. That was my first mistake. I made a mental note. Had something to do with tonight, and now I can remember. Or should I say it had something to do with, and I was just like, that's interesting. That's the last time, well, not the last time, but that's when they saw that mysterious collection of vehicles headed toward the hospital. Maybe I didn't even use that slide. Maybe that's what it was. Well, never mind, you guys. I tell you, for the life of me, I can't think of which one it was. Nope. I don't remember. Don't remember. Oh, well, and that was all of them. Yep, I cannot remember. But there was some slide that I looked at, and I'm like, that's interesting. That was the 28th of, you know what? Why don't I just go and look and see what I put on the 28th or the 29th? Look at me being a sleuth. December the 20, I'm going to look 27th. 27th, see what was going on then. Oh, was that the night that Meghan, that was around the time that Meghan was on the red carpet for that variety thing. That was the 28th of December. Okay, but I don't know what connection that would be. But I know that's what happened that night. And I'm looking through the slide from that day. I don't see anything else. Yeah. Sorry, I cannot think what else it could be. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to call it a night. Angela Simone says, Baron Squatty's not feeling well. Where is Andrew? What about the list? You don't hear about it anymore. What about the feet? I don't know. But Angela Simone, you're not feeling well? I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better. Let me see. Mean to everyone. If she does, if she does have friends, not good because she needs one. Yes, she does. Meghan would have been her friend. Meghan tried to be friendly with her. That's what's so silly is that Meghan tried to be friendly with her. You know, and I know that the derangers, not the derangers, but the what do you call it? The Royal Rota, the rodents, the tabloid media, they love to say that, oh, Meghan didn't want to walk behind her. Meghan didn't want to have to bow to her someday. If you have respect for someone, and that is the protocol, it's not a problem. You do what you're supposed to do, right? But if you don't respect someone, of course, you wouldn't feel good about having to show deference to a monster, and least of all in public. But, you know, Meghan is not so vain and arrogant that she would not do her job. They love to say Meghan didn't want to do the work. She didn't want to have to cut ribbons and open up a dairy farm and all that kind of stuff. That just goes to show that they don't know anything about Meghan. That's something that you say after the fact to try to build a case against someone that you had it in for from the start. That's something that a person says when they want to justify their behavior. You project it onto the victim, right? You project it to the person who has been the victim of the racism, of the anti-Americanism, and whatever else they were doing. All right, so with that, you guys, I'm going to say goodnight. Let me find our queens. There we go. When you see our queens, then you know it's time to go. You know what it means. All right. Our queens and our king. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Love you guys. I will see you all tomorrow. And I don't know. I got a feeling that we are going to see something Sussex tomorrow. So look forward to that. We're going to see something Sussex tomorrow. I don't know what something is, but either way, whether we do or we don't, just know that this is going to be a very, very Sussex year. They got a lot of stuff coming up, and I am here for it. It's telling that the ancient palace has not changed. Back in olden times, people in the royal household disappear all the time. What if the 9 months Kate doesn't appear? Then what? Oh, you mean like the princes in the tower? Without explanation, they just disappeared? Marshar, with all seriousness though, it is so weird that there's no outcry for the whereabouts, no proof of life or nothing. The only people that seem to talk about it is the Sussex squad. We're like the only ones to talk about it. That's weird. You would think, but no, nothing, nothing. You know, I hate to get so invested into the what ifs because the next thing you know, they'll probably bring her back earlier than predicted or mentioned, and and everything will be fine. In that movie Get Out, weren't they doing brain transplants? If Rose Hanbury all of a sudden started talking about the early years, yes, if Rose Hanbury, the Marquise of whatever it is, if she started talking about the early years, then I'm going to know something. Yep. And if Kate all of a sudden started dressing better. Although I doubt if Rose wants to have those, wants to be looking like Popeye. So, yeah. Yeah, 1960, yeah. Before we get too carried away with the conspiracies, we have to remember the Middletons, whatever it is, they seem to be okay with it. Whatever it is or is not, they seem to be okay with it. Oh, you know what? We're drifting into 3 hours. Good night, y'all. I'm fixing to go. Did not mean to be on this long. Love you guys. I will see y'all tomorrow. Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So thank you all. And see you tomorrow. It's going to be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, I didn't do my last word of the day, did I? That's what I knew I had forgot something. Let me find something wise and worldly and inspiring. Let me find something inspiring to close out today. Something to close out today. No, I forgot something. Wow. Okay, something to uplift and inspire. Oh, here's something that you'll find inspiring. Trump's slurred speech and gross repeated errors show his cognitive decline is more apparent than Biden's. Yes, I'm inspired. Yes, I'm inspired by that. Trump's slurred speech and gross repeated errors show his cognitive decline is more apparent than Biden. American professor claims in frightening assessment of potential frontrunners. Okay, there you go. Now, if that does not inspire you, I don't know what does. That should uplift you. Wait until they get into the debates. Wait until they have a debate. That's going to be kind of interesting to watch. I mean, who's going to keep them awake? Well, they should be pretty well matched at that point. And they'll probably have about the same amount of money in the bank. You're welcome, Deborah Anderson. Thank you for being here. You know what? You're right about that, CK. He's gotten away without debates in the past, so why even bother, right? Why even bother? And neither one of them probably. Actually, Biden will debate. Biden will debate. He doesn't care. Biden always does well with his debates, so it shouldn't matter. I think that if Biden has someone that challenges him from the Democrat Party, then he's going to have to debate that person. People are going to expect that. And depending on who it is, that might be a nightmare, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Not that I'm against having someone else run, but that could be a mess for the entire party. It's going to be a lot of hurt feelings if somebody runs against Biden. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be a lot of people that won't come out election day. There hasn't been a challenge to an incumbent in a long time, in a very long time. Okay. Good night, Elizabeth Daniels. Thank you so much for being here. Uplift and inspired. Be like Fannie Willis. Don't let them lie on you. Hear, hear. I love Fannie Willis. That's right. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And with that, good night. Good night. Love you guys. Good night.